Hi, Eastview family. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope your week is going well. As you can see, I am yet in another location today. Not recording at my usual time, and so therefore not in my usual place. Well, in yesterday's devotion, Jason talked a little bit about pain. We can experience moments of deep pain and suffering in life, but there is a profound truth that should anchor our hearts. It's the joy that we find in Jesus that cannot be taken away. In John 16, Jesus prepares his disciples for the sorrow that they will experience at his betrayal and death. He speaks of a little while when they will not see him, followed by another little while when they will see him again. This is a bit of a confusing message that leaves the disciples grappling with its meaning, much like we can grapple with the difficulties, questions, and uncertainties of life. But Jesus doesn't leave them in their confusion. He reassures them. And by extension, Jesus reassures us that although sorrow may be part of our journey, it will ultimately turn into joy. This promise isn't just about the resurrection. It extends to our lives as well. We encounter pain, disappointment, and suffering, but through faith in Jesus, we find a joy that is deeper and more enduring than any sorrow we face. Jesus goes into this analogy of a mother giving birth. She feels sorrow and pain, but when she delivers the baby, she no longer remembers because of the joy that a new life brings. But not only is there joy on the other side of those birth pangs, it is the very pain of childbirth itself that produces the joy. It is the labor contractions themselves that bring the baby into the world. And so in the same way, Jesus' death and resurrection produce our joy, the joy that our debt has been paid, that one day we will be with him in heaven, the joy that we trust in him and in God's love for us, God's grace, God's sovereignty, God's goodness, mercy, God's power, and his will. And this joy is an eternal one. Jesus says in verse 22, "So also you have sorrow now, but I will see you again, and your hearts will rejoice, and no one will take your joy away from you." The work of Jesus on the cross and his resurrection was once and for all, forever. And so nothing can take away that truth. Nothing can take away our joy. Psalm 33:21 tells us that our hearts can rejoice in the Lord because we trust in his holy name. So there is a connection between joy and trust, isn't there? When we trust in the one who is trustworthy, we can experience joy, a hope, a peace, and a confidence that withstands anything. It's not a fleeting happiness dependent on circumstances, but it is a deep, abiding joy grounded in our faith. It's like an anchor in the storms of life, enabling us to endure hardship, knowing that a day of rejoicing is coming. And this gift from God endures and testifies to our hope beyond circumstances. It is a joy that cannot be taken away, and that is a promise from Jesus himself.